Everybody, I'm here tonight cooking again. I'll pick up my little thing so you can see me. I'm cooking again tonight. Tonight I got my hair did, so it's all different color now. I am cooking shepherd's pie from our healthy eating recipe. So I actually really love shepherd's pie. This is a healthier version. So when we're doing, put this back so you can see my cutting board. So when we're doing clean eating, we're not allowed to have potatoes. So this is kind of a different thing because we're going to be using cauliflower instead of potatoes. So I have this head of cauliflower that I've cleaned up a little bit. I took I guess it had little brown spots on it. I'm not a fan of cauliflower, y'all, so this is totally like I'm reaching here for sure. So we'll see if I even like it. But I mean, I'm sure I'm gonna love the meat part, but I may not love the cauliflower part. So we take our cauliflower and we just chop it up. So I'm just gonna chop it up. Literally just rough chop it. And then it gets boiled apparently, so it gets soft, like so you can mash it. So I have a pot of water over here boiling, and I'm just gonna pour my cauliflower into the pot of water. And get it all over the stove apparently. Okay. Okay, so meanwhile, I have this pan is heating up. I'm gonna put a little EVOO in there. A little EVOO. Just a little bit, not too much. Probably about, I told y'all I don't measure. So that's probably about maybe a couple of teaspoons, maybe half a tablespoon. It's not a full tablespoon. So I got my cauliflower boiling. Put this away. And now the recipe tells me to chop an onion and carrots. Hey Sandy. Hey Dynasty. I'm cooking. I actually ran out of onion, y'all. I thought I had an onion in my pantry and I didn't. So this is going to be a little short on my onion tonight, but that's okay. I'm just going to chop this onion. So what I'm making tonight is I'm making a healthy version of shepherd's pie. So you know, shepherd's pie traditionally is ground beef with a tomato sauce and mixed vegetables or frozen vegetables mixed in. And then you put it in a pan or a baking dish and you put mashed potatoes on it and you bake it in the oven for a few minutes till it gets nice and bubbly. So on a 30-day healthy eating plan, we're not allowed to have potatoes, so we're doing cauliflower on the top instead. So, and I may not be able to record the whole thing because, like, I don't know if y'all want to watch me for the whole entire while I'm waiting for that to boil. So we're going to cook this onion and carrots. So we're going to take carrots. Now, I don't know about y'all. I don't know if y'all have dogs, but I have a dog, my little terrier, and I'm going to see if I can get him on camera for you guys. He loves carrots. Like, when I start peeling carrots, he's like all about the carrots. Let's see, watch out. There's my cat. Emmett, Bailey, come here. Y'all see my dog? Is he over here? You guys see my dog? Okay, ready? And he'll jump for he loves carrots. Oh my gosh, he's all about the carrots. So I usually put these in his bowl. He really likes carrots. I don't know what that's about. So my cauliflower is boiling. I'm gonna be putting it over here later in my food processor. Yeah, that's what it's called. My food processor, so I can process the cauliflower. So I've got my onions cooking. Now it's funny because the recipe says that I should saute the onions and carrots until they quote unquote get some color. But like, I don't really get that because carrots already have plenty of this beautiful orange color. So I'm not really sure. My dog's gonna start barking like any second now because someone's out mowing the grass and he thinks that that means he has to go and attack them. I don't really know what his deal is. Whenever someone starts mowing the grass, he feels like he has to run along the fence and bark at them because I don't know what they're gonna do to him. But he doesn't like anyone mowing the grass. It's a thing. So hopefully he doesn't start barking in a second. So here I have my carrots. See, there he goes. My carrots. Bailey, stop, I'm recording. He doesn't care about my budding career as a cooking entrepreneur. No. So then it also tells me to put in onions and carrots in a saucepan over medium heat. Sorry guys, I'm reading the recipe while I'm cooking. See my face in there. So this is the recipe that I'm using. This little recipe, cauliflower shepherd's pie. And it calls for celery, but I don't know where the celery goes in. So because it doesn't say necessarily this recipe, I read it. It was kind of strange, and it had things like it wasn't really formatted correctly maybe. So I'm just going to just cut my celery and go ahead and put it in with my onions and carrots because I think that will taste really good. So I'm just going to cut my celery, dice it up. Okay, so like I said, let's see. Hey Steve, it's Steve, I'm finishing the onion from last night. So yeah, it is. I try to not use one whole onion. I like onion, but I don't like to eat it. Like, I don't want to taste just onion. So I use an onion over a couple of nights. So yes, it is the same onion. I finished it up. So there's onions and celery and carrots cooking in this pan. So they're gonna get some nice and soft. But there's no green pepper today, Steve. So you can eat this. Okay, that's cooking down. So while that's cooking down and getting soft, my cauliflower is over here. Right there, it's boiling. So how's everybody doing today? I know Carol says it smells yummy. She's in the other room. I told her she's gonna go upstairs. I'm like, don't go. What if I need you to, I don't know, grab me something? So I made her stay. This recipe also calls for chicken bouillon. So what I use is I use this Better Than bouillon that I buy. I'm gonna put it away. I wanted to show you guys. It's in the refrigerator section. It's basically a chicken base, and I just put it in water. You can see it right here. I put it in water. And then because the recipe also calls for flour, because we're doing clean eating, and we can't have regular flour, so I'm actually going to be using brown rice flour. I also have almond flour and coconut flour, but I thought the brown rice flour might give it that little bit of thickening also, so it could do that. Hey Tabitha, how are you? Hey Angie, how are you? It's Angela Lees. I'm really excited. Angela Lees is a friend of mine. She is a consultant and sells oils, and I'm really excited because I'm going to her house next week, and I'm going to learn about oils. So here's my stuff that's cooking over here. That cauliflower is boiling, the carrots, and it says to cook until it gets some color, but I'm just going to go ahead and let it get a little bit soft before I put my meat in there. So that was my oven. I was like, what's beeping? That's my oven because I have my oven on at 400 to put this in. So that's cooking over there. I got to get my beef. So you guys stay right there. I'm going to get my beef. So I'm really fortunate. We like to eat grass-fed beef, and my friend Donna Perky, her husband's family has a ranch out in West Virginia, and they have grass-fed beef at their ranch. So Donna and her husband Keith get like a half a cow once a year, or like I think they get a whole cow, but we were able to get a quarter of the cow last year. So we have our freezers full of ground beef and roast and steaks and all this lovely meat, and it's all grass-fed. So it's not just grass-finished, but it's actually grass-fed. So if that's something that's important to you guys, having grass-fed beef, I would suggest that you, when you go somewhere and they say it's grass-fed, that you ask if it's grass-fed or grass-finished. A lot of times they'll feed the cows that corn, that GMO corn that you don't really want in your body, and then they just finish it with grass, so they can say it's grass-fed because they did feed it grass, but it was at the end of the animal's life. Angela, we'll just trade off, okay? So, so when you guys go out somewhere and they say, oh, it's grass-fed beef, definitely ask. They may not know. I went somewhere and I had to ask if it was grass-fed or grass-finished, and the lady said she didn't know, but she would check with her kitchen manager, and sure enough, it was grass-finished beef. It wasn't grass-fed. So it was fed grass, but not its whole life. So we try to eat beef that's been grass-fed its whole life, and chicken that's free range, and eggs that's free range. I will say that, you know, I have friends that are vegan, And I have tried to go vegan, but I didn't really care for, I mean, I do like, it's horrible. I know it's bad to say, I guess if you're vegan, you won't want to hear it, but I like animals, eating them. Does that sound awful? Sorry, it's true. But we at least try to eat animals that are raised humanely, that don't suffer. We don't like to eat chickens that are caged, or, you know, we like to eat the animals that have at least had, I told this to someone once, I was like, at least had a decent life, and she was like, oh, before you killed him? I'm like, yeah. Okay, we're gonna change the subject, y'all, because that's like, that gets people all fired up. So my storage on my phone is almost full. Okay, so we're just gonna let all this kind of cook down. So our meat has to brown, and our cauliflower's over there boiling. Hey Jennifer, we're cooking from the 30 Days to Healthy Living tonight. I'm making cauliflower shepherd's pie. It can be vegan if you were to do lentils instead of beef, but I decided to do the beef instead. So all that's cooking, I'm gonna put a little salt and pepper in there, a little pepper, a little salt. I think I told y'all last night I'm not really a measurer. And I'm gonna put a little bit of, now that it's cooked down just a little bit, I'm gonna put a little bit of garlic in there as well. So just take a little bit of my minced garlic and pop that right in there. And then put that away and stir that up. I'm also posting these videos on my blog, you guys, and I'm loading them on my YouTube channel. So if you don't want to sit here and watch for 30 minutes while I'm cooking, because that can be really boring, and you probably have, you know, you got to cook for your own family or do whatever, then that's fine. You can definitely watch this either on my blog or on my YouTube channel. So I do have a YouTube channel. I'm sure it's probably just my name, Carol Rude, so you can find me. I have some videos up there, and definitely blogging about this adventure. So this is not my first time doing the 30-day program with Arbonne, but it's my first time doing it 100%. So the first time I did the 30-day program with Arbonne, I just could not give up coffee. Like, I just had to have my coffee. And the reason that we give up coffee when we do the 30-day program is because coffee is acidic. So we're removing allergenic and acidic foods from our diets to get rid of the toxins from our bodies. So the first time I did it, I really couldn't give up my coffee, so I kept my coffee. And it isn't about the caffeine, because we're allowed to have caffeine. It was really about the taste. So the second time I did it, I did give up my coffee, but it was the cheese. Like, I went 3 weeks, and I was like, oh my God, I need cheese. So I wasn't able, I had to put cheese back in. So then we went to Whole Foods and found a really nice soy-free, dairy-free cheese alternative called, I believe it's called Healthy, and it's really good. It's tasty. It tastes just like cheese. Hey Kendall, it tastes just like cheese, and we really like it. So we're cooking tonight is shepherd's pie, healthy version of shepherd's pie with cauliflower instead of mashed potatoes. Okay, so my meat's all cooked up. So we got the meat brown. Now I'm gonna put 2 tablespoons of flour on the meat. And it doesn't say in the recipe, but I'm assuming that that's so that the meat gets thickened, so the whole thing gets thick when it's cooking. So I'm using brown rice flour. It's Bob's Red Mill brown rice flour. And I'm just gonna put that in there and then stir it up. And so that's gonna give it, like when I put the tomato paste in, it's gonna give it like a nice thickening when I put the chicken broth in there. I'm just gonna coat that meat and get that all in there. All right, so that's all incorporated in there now. That flour is mixed in with the meat. So what we have in here is we have ground beef, onion, garlic, carrot, and celery. So that's what's in here with our ground beef. And we have just added 2 tablespoons of flour. And now we're going to cook it just for a couple of minutes just to get that. You know how flour has kind of a taste when you put it in? You have to really cook it down so that it gets rid of that flour kind of taste. Although this isn't white flour, it's brown rice flour. So it's probably not gonna have that same kind of a taste. It's gonna be a little bit lighter in taste. And of course it's gluten-free, which is important to us. So then we're gonna add in a little bit of chicken broth, and we're going to simmer that for a little while, and some tomato puree. So the tomato puree, it's really only 2 teaspoons. So I'm going to have to use the rest of this tomato paste in a different way. And I told you guys last night, I don't really measure, so to me that looks like it's like about 2 teaspoons. So I'm going to put that in and mix that up. And then I'm going to put in my chicken broth, which I made earlier in the microwave. I just took a cup of water and some chicken base and moved that up to make a chicken broth. And I'm going to stir that all up, and then it tells me to let it simmer and come to a boil for 10 minutes. So I'm going to put my lid on there and let that all kind of just, as I said yesterday, I really like the flavors all have to marry and mingle. So we're going to let that do that. Put my lid on there and let all that just kind of get juicy and delicious. So then in the meanwhile, we're going to let that simmer. Then I'm going to put in some peas. I have some organic peas to put in there. So where's my organic peas from Harris Teeter? And it's going to be 1/2 cup of peas, and then the cauliflower. So I'm going to check my cauliflower and see how soft it is. So I'm going to grab a fork real quick. And check the cauliflower and see if it's soft yet. It actually is really soft, so I'm going to go ahead and turn that off so it's not just going to sit there and boil and boil. And I told you guys, this is really a stretch for me because I do not like cauliflower. I like broccoli okay, but I'm not really a cauliflower fan. So, hey Diana, the new Barefoot Contessa. I love shepherd's pie too, Kendall, which is why I'm trying this Dove recipe, because shepherd's pie traditionally is not maybe as healthy as it could be. Of course, it's the ground beef, but it's also, you know, the potatoes on top. Potatoes aren't necessarily that bad for you, but when we're doing the 30-day detox program, 30 Days to Healthy Living program with the company I work with, Arbonne, we're not allowed to have potatoes for a month. So we can have sweet potatoes, but not white potatoes. So we're gonna let that set, and I'm gonna put the cauliflower in a food processor, and I'm going to process that. I'm gonna add a little bit of almond milk to that as well. Actually, coconut milk. So I got the coconut milk from Trader Joe's. All right, you guys, I'm gonna try to do this. You guys are watching, so if we have an accident, I'll have like all these witnesses to my clumsiness. But I'm literally just gonna put the cauliflower in here, in my food processor. I have a slotted spoon, obviously, because I don't want all the water in there. And we're gonna mash it up. Hope you guys can hear me. I'm trying to be loud, but definitely, I know I lost some viewers. I was looking up there earlier and I had like 7, now I only have like 2. So it is a lot, you know, a lot to watch, and I get it, and it's probably like, you know, you guys can do other things. So definitely I'll be posting the recipes on Facebook, on my blog, and I also have a YouTube channel where you can find me. Just look me up on YouTube for Carol Rood, R-O-O-D. You guys know how to spell my name. And you'll find me, and you'll see the videos also there. So I'm trying to really bring awareness to this healthy eating. Those of you that have known me or followed me or read my stuff on Facebook or my blogs for a long time know that I've really struggled with my weight. So I'm really trying to do this healthy eating program 100%. I want to get healthier, but I'm also really trying to lose a few pounds. So if I can do that, I'll be really excited. Okay, so I'm going to put the lid on. I'm going to go talk to you guys for a minute. It's going to get loud. Okay, so that worked just like it said it was going to. And that cauliflower is all mashed up. So I just used the food processor, and it got all, oh, that's kind of a shadow over there, huh? So you guys can see it now maybe better. So there's the food, there it's all mashed up. Just gonna put a little salt and pepper on it, a little salt, a little pepper. So my cauliflower mash is ready to go. Now the only other thing I will say that I tend to kind of do my own thing a lot when I cook, but the recipe called for parsley, called for chives on the top with your meat. And I didn't have any chives, you guys. I totally forgot to buy chives at the store. I didn't really read the recipe 100%. So I totally forgot to buy chives. So instead, I went outside and I picked some basil off my plant. So I'm gonna take the basil and I'm gonna kind of chop that up and put it on top of the cauliflower. So it can, I think it will taste good, the basil and the cauliflower and everything. So, okay, so then the recipe tells me to add the peas, and you can actually either put it in ramekins or put it in a pan. I have a pan right here that I got ready earlier, and I'm just gonna spray it down really quickly with some organic Pam olive oil. Just gonna spray it down real quick. It shouldn't stick because of course it's beef and the beef does have the fat in it, although this beef is pretty lean because it's grass-fed beef. So I'm just gonna turn that down, let everything cook for a few more minutes, and then I'm gonna let you guys know what I'm gonna do, and then I'll take pictures so you guys can see. So I'm gonna take this meat, I'm gonna put some peas in it. Let me see how those vegetables are. Maybe I can do it all right now and pop in the oven. But this is not the Rachel Ray show or any of those cooking shows, so I really don't have one. You know, like they already have one already in the oven, like all done, and they just pull it out and they're like, here it is. Like, I put this in the oven and now look, this one's all done. I don't have that because I'm just me cooking for my family. That smells really good, y'all. That smells so good. So, I put some peas in there and we're gonna have at it and get it done. So I do not have one to show you like, oh, look, this is done. See, okay, so my son put away the dishes today, the dishwasher. This is a plastic container that goes in the plastic cupboard. This container right here that you guys can't see is where I keep my, my measuring stuff. It's not where it goes. But I have this young man who lives here who's 19, and he hates doing the dishwasher. But so sometimes just because I can, because I'm the mom, like I, you know, make his life miserable and ask him to do it. So he does it. But then he's like, I think he's passive aggressive about it because he puts stuff in the wrong place. And I'm like, do you do that on purpose? And he like looks at me and he's like, no. But you know, I know he does because he's just trying for me not to have to make him do that ever again. So I think he figures if he puts stuff in the wrong place, that I'll be like, oh, that's okay. You don't have to do it anymore. But that's not going to work with me because this kid, you know, lives here. So he's going to have to do the dishwasher anyway. So he's probably not going to be happy about that, but he'll be all right. Okay, so my peas are in there. Actually, none of my kids like doing the dishwasher. I don't know what that's about. So I'm going to take my pan and put all of my meat and my peas and carrots and celery and onions. And it's all going to go in there. This is like a, it's not really a 9x13. It's a little smaller. It's more like an 8x11. And I'm just going to spread that out. That looks really good. It smells good too. So I'm kind of excited about this. We'll see. We'll see. I'll let you know how it tastes. Okay, that's going to go there. And then because I'm a kind of an I want it all girl, I've got my Pampered Chef spatula. It's funny. I have a lot of Pampered Chef stuff. I was never a Pampered Chef consultant either. I just really like it. So I bought it from my friend Christina. I gave her a shout out last night. So here's the cauliflower is going to go on top. Get it all out of there. So I use my plastic spatula. Now I have heard people say that they've done like mashed cauliflower in place of potatoes. And since I'm not a cauliflower fan, what I would probably do, well, I don't know, it might be after tonight. What I'd probably do is go ahead and do that, but I would like put like butter and sour cream and all the stuff that makes it unhealthy in it to kind of like make it not taste like cauliflower. But like I said, I've never really enjoyed cauliflower, but I might after tonight. We'll see. So here's my cauliflower. I'm just kind of spreading it out. And Kendall, if you're still watching, I don't know if you are or not, but the Barefoot Contessa is my favorite cook because she doesn't look like Giada, right? She's not like super duper skinny. She actually looks like a real person. And of course she's from Connecticut, right? Isn't that where she's from? I mean, I think she's in, you know, where I grew up in kind of the northeastern part of the world. Okay, so there's that. Put this in the sink. Okay, so that's the whole thing. Now, the recipe says to put chives on it, but I don't have any. So I thought it would look pretty with some basil. So I have this little chopper thing. this little chopper thing that I got on, I think I got it on Amazon. Just gonna put my little basil leaves that I picked and washed earlier off my plant outside and put them in there. And then this goes on top and you just swish it back and forth and it chops up your stuff. So there we go. Okay, so that's gonna go into the oven for 25 minutes, it says, or until golden brown and bubbling. So I'm gonna put it in the oven, y'all, and then I'll let you know. I'll take a picture later so you guys can see how it all turned out and how it tasted. So thanks so much for watching. Those of you that are still watching, you can see, oh, thanks. Wicked Skinny Cook. Right, I know, right? If they're skinny, but I'm trying to lose a few pounds, which is why I'm doing this 30-day program. So we're doing the 30 Days to Healthy Living program using our Arbonne products. Yeah, Carol says she'll post if it's good or bad, but she likes cauliflower. I do not, so I'm gonna be a much better chef. I mean, like, judge of character. Sorry, I'm a little sweaty. I went running today. I'll be a much better judge because I'm not a fan of cauliflower. So, hey, Charlene, I'm gonna call you in a few minutes, so be ready. So yes, she does like cauliflower. See, she's so silly. She's sitting literally, like, you guys, like, literally, like my messy kitchen. There's Carol right there. She's literally in the other room commenting on my video. She's so funny. Okay, so that's in the oven for about 25 minutes. It's shepherd's pie with cauliflower, healthy 30 Days to Healthy Living with Arbonne. I had my 2 shakes today. I had my vanilla shake this morning. Hey, Leanne. I had my vanilla shake this morning. I had my chocolate shake for lunch. And tonight we're having cauliflower shepherd's pie from our 30 Days to Healthy Living cookbook. So you guys can see the end result. I'll take pictures and post it on Facebook. And you guys, thanks so much for watching. I'm gonna be cooking. I'm gonna try to cook every night. You know, the storm is coming, this Matthew, this hurricane. So we might be cooking on the Coleman stove. Thank goodness I was gonna sell that. Thank goodness I didn't sell that yet because we might be cooking on the Coleman stove this weekend, for real. We gotta get the gas for the generator. That's kind of what I'm looking at, but, oh, Charlene, it's in the recipes. I will call you tonight. You text me when you're done cutting the bushes and then I'll call you because I wanna chat with you about how your days are going. Look, Carol's been working on the floors. That's all her equipment. All right, y'all, I'm gonna run. Thanks so much for watching. I'll let you know how it tastes and hopefully you guys will make it for yourself. If you want the recipe, definitely just send me a private message and I can get it to you. Okay, bye.